Hey, everybody. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. I'll be back with you again with scores.
All right, Coach. First opened in 1999. There's a good look at First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick in the 2018 draft, the Oklahoma Sooner, Baker Mayfield.
And I think it's safe to say that, and I heard him say it in the post-game press conference, that was a team win last week because he didn't really play up to his normal standards, throwing 2 interceptions.
No touchdown.
Yeah, didn't offset it at all, but the team found a way to get it done.
First carry for Nick Chubb. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. This offense has a lot to account for, but at the top of the defense's list is OBJ.
I'm not sure how you really game plan for him because no matter what you do, he finds a way to uncover himself downfield. And the speed gets it from his mom, a former sprinter at LSU.
Mike. Hey, Mike 7. Let's go, D. Let's go. Mike 5-5. Mike.
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield, and he's got the hook up to Landry. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This unit, they're hoping to improve against the pass because right now, Charles, number 27 in the NFL.
And when you're getting ready to face the #1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Run. All day, every day, any day. Slam.
Mayfield to throw it toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The rookie from Michigan there defensively, that's Devin Bush making the play.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20 because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
13 yards to third down. They go with a slant. It works.
And I'm wondering when the league's going to figure it out because everyone throws it on 3rd down. You expect pressure, so you want the ball in the hands of the quarterback quickly. It's a 3-step route ordinarily, and you're throwing it where you see the receiver breaking towards you. So it's an inside route. Everyone likes it, and it's executed very well.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Following the penalty, Chubb. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power. We saw finesse. We saw speed. And what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Mayfield. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though.
Bravo.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he's got his man. That's Landry.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Hey, alert, 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 alert. Hey, wahoo. My God.
3rd and long for Mayfield. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 39 yards there, a big one.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them.
That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with 1st downs on each play.
They'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
And they come off a tough loss last week, and what's their reward? A 2nd straight road game. Rarely are teams happy about scheduling. They're always calling the league office saying, how come we have this game and that game? But when you're coming off of a loss on the road and you go right into another one, that's a difficult task.
And he will force his way forward for a yard or 2, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. Now Roethlisberger. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Open man is Switzer, complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating 1st downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Regular. Hurry. Watch it, go on.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll wind up losing yardage here, back at the 21-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Kings. Five. Mike's 50. It's our field.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver, Taywan Taylor. And it'll bring up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Tight end right.
From the gun, Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get, and then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. They'll try and run for it with Connor. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. For the short yardage, trying to pick up 1st downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Right back to Connor here on 1st. And unable to get downhill there, as he'll take this up to about the 37. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he takes this way down, deep into Cleveland territory.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes. Big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Offense.
So that one will be accepted.
Still 2nd down.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Roethlisberger able to get away. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield.
Holding.
Let's get the call. So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
On second down now, it's Connor, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So 2 disastrous running plays, and now they face a third and very long. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Complete to Washington. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Tighten up, tighten up. Alert, 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 alert. Real. Kill. Hey, alert, 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 alert.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
They go with Chubb on second down. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Alert, 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 alert.
A run for Nick Chubb. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Here's 2nd and 9. Just a yard on that last run.
Hey, check. 3
at the 36-yard line.
Mike, hurry. Right there in the middle, 55. Let's go.
They give the Chubb out of the gun. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
55 to Mike. Check. Hurry. Hey, come on now. Mike.
3rd and short yardage. Mayfield. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 16. A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16.
Under 10. Tyler, 64, weak.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Check. 2nd and 4 at the 10-yard line.
A toss play to Chubb. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Watch the
On first and goal, Dixon. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Alert, 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 alert. 97's the mic. Hey, Echo. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 97's the mic. 97's the mic. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. 97's the mic. 97's the mic.
On second and goal, Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Taywan Taylor, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal.
Inside for the catch and the score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a basketball game where one team's coming down and hitting threes, and you're coming back and getting twos, and you steadily lose ground. In this situation, you're talking about touchdowns to field goals. They want to put in the end zone and put those 6s on the board.
Yeah, they've been settling. That's why they're down on the scoreboard right now. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Roethlisberger. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, it's Connor. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Let's go.
Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Olivier Vernon in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
The Browns drive about to get started, and they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
Chubb. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Pistol.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Point it right.
On the ground is Chubb. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And that's one of the reasons we like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Check four.
On the carry is Chubb.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instinct. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
We want it. Come. Hey, exit. Mike's 50. They gonna need some therapy after this.
Mayfield from the gun on third down. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number one receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
To throw, Mayfield. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Mike's 50. Hurry. Let's go.
Here's Mayfield. Got a man. That's Rashard Higgins. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Pistol. Hey, alert. Tracking. Crash.
Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 39.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Browns on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Watch the twist. Alert.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. This offense, number 1 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and the run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up first downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, alert 33.
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. Isaiah McKenzie hauling it in. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. Now Chubb, and he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
Regular. Let's set a tone, fellas. Hey, Charlie. 50. Mike 50.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picked.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. Washington's got it.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4. At the 21-yard line.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Roethlisberger will hand to Connor. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
It's a gain of 10. And the Steelers first down.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Roethlisberger throwing complete to McDonald. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now it's Roethlisberger. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. To throw here, Roethlisberger. That's complete to Nauta, the tight end. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. He felt the pressure coming there. That was a good job of just making something out of nothing, so to speak.
Yeah, took the hit and still made the play. You know, when we talk about runners, all right, on running plays, runs after contact, we call that getting dirty yards, tough, gritty ones. To me, that's like the version of a dirty pass. He knows he's going to get smacked, yet still delivers the football and picks up good yardage.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, and it's the Jaguars who are out in front. The former Super Bowl
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20, as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. We focus our attention now on the quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
66. Come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come out here. Come get some.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Counter on 1st down, not going to get a whole lot. Maybe a couple. 2nd down coming up. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter. No time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They begin this drive with Chubb, and he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Let's go. Run. Step up. Watch safety creep. Hey, alert 33. Safety's creeping. Alert 3. Alert.
And again, it's Chubb. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him.
Hey, turn it up. King. Watch twist. Watch regular.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And they're going to get the first down here as he's up to the 14. Just enough to get the first down there with a 1-yard pickup.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Point it right. Hey, Delta.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Mike, 55.
Hey, Foxtrot. Hey, defense, let's go.
First down, Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going up 4 steps and cuts towards the middle of the field, and now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line.
Offense. Still first down.
180.
Mike 55.
Pistol.
Go.
55.
Don't let him breathe.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second down.
They dead.
180. Brings up second down.
Run.
At the 40-yard line.
Hey, high 7. My touch.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mayfield. It's caught. Beckham. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 42.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 34.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard.
Alert. Hey, alert 33. Alert. My touch.
On the run, it's Perkins. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
3rd and 1, who are you going to call? Not the scat back. You go with the big man. Hand him the ball and let him get upfield and pick up a first down.
Hey, Zoo. Big time drive. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Mike, 180. Hey, alert.
Mike's 50. Cut.
Bravo.
Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50.
Hurry.
Shit.
King. My touch.
On second down, Mayfield again. Going back to Lander. This time he's got him. Complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1.
Hey, watch it.
Regular. 1-3. Point it right.
They'll run with Dixon. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wonder, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
So that drive began at their own 3. They wind up getting 3 out of it.
And to me, the mentality to begin the drive, that was probably the key to everything. Let's just make sure we take care of the football, give ourselves some room, and maybe punt it away. Instead, it started at the 3, and it ended with 3 points.
And the Steelers set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive. They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense, exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Now on 2nd and 13, Roethlisberger, and he's able to get up here to the 26.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Landry now on the return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive.
Brings up 2nd and 9. At the 28-yard line.
Check 99. Check 99. Undercrush.
Real. Check.
Right back to Dixon. They follow up the 1st down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down. Mayfield now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Run. Point it right. Hurry.
55. Hey, eat.
From the gun, Mayfield. He finds Taylor, complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Chubb on 1st down, not going to go anywhere as he'll lose 3 on that one.
Offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Mike, 55.
Hey, alert 33.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He finds his target, Beckham. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
180.
Brings up 2nd down.
You must get tired.
Regular.
55. Buzz. Pretty quiet. 55 Mike, guys. 55.
Hey, alert 33. Hurry. You gonna see me in your nightmare.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mayfield. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. This is 3rd and 1, very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4.
Seam 6. 50's a Mike. 50's a Mike. He don't know no. Hurry, hurry. Mike 50. All day, baby. All day.
On 3rd and 1, here's Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The Steelers' offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. Here's Roethlisberger. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. So here are the Browns to come up on 1st and 10. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Hey, alert 33. Hurry.
They run it again with Chubb. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Alert. Hey, Alpha.
50. Mike 50.
Hurry. You better be.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup.
180.
Check it back.
King. Regular. Hurry. Point it right.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
You get
Run.
First and 10 at the 42.
Hey, Haywood.
A 1st down throw from Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
They run. Chubb. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Run.
Mayfield. And this is caught. He hits Landry. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 24-yard line. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A gain of 3, second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. On third down, here's Dixon. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Seibert able to knock this one through. And that one makes this a 10-point game at 16-6. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His third field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so.
And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Olivier Vernon getting him once again his third sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Another try after the first down sack. Roethlisberger, he'll get this one to Switzer. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the first.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a first down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Exit. Bandit. Check. 55 to Mike. 55 to Mike. Here we go.
On 2nd and 9. Mayfield. They're going deep here for Taylor. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Mayfield looks to throw. It's caught by OBJ. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
33. Hey, Charlie.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. And this is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
55. Hey, eat. Don't get it up. Hey, Delta.
And the blitz does come. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Olivier Vernon. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Like 80.
They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. Johnson's got it complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 43. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 43. Now Roethlisberger. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight in. Oh, no, lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grab it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
And he's taken down inside the 30. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
Go!
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Hey, alert 33. Check hot route.
Now Dixon. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
You draw quarters.
A run for Nick Chubb. And they'll get him down right around the 16. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
Hey, you got 3.
They give to Chubb out of the gun. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Seibert's kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
So Ben Roethlisberger and the offense down by 13, 1:46 to go. Now their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on first down. Now Roethlisberger on first down. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Now this pass to Vance McDonald complete. That'll be a gain of 15 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Here's Roethlisberger. Open man is Switzer, complete. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. To throw again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now Roethlisberger. This is Johnson. He's got it. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. Now been hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Down to one knee goes Mayfield, and that's all she wrote.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Steelers' 42-yard line.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you can win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Browns, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem